Now, this was the debut of the Gold and Silver Ranger, so I can't wait to do this review, which the episode actually begins with Ben using the new tracking device that Nate actually created, which we've seen him getting ice cream, but it doesn't actually work. It actually turns out that Betty was inside of the ice cream machine when they actually tested out, and the ice cream actually fell onto Betty's head. Which back in the lab, we see Nate develop a new technology for a new morpher and a new weapon, which he calls the morpher the Striker Morpher. And then Devin, Rafi, and Zoe are actually came and actually saw the new tech, in which Nate actually decided to go find some new animal DNA for his new project. But the Rangers decided to go with Nate because he cannot actually escort it without an escort, which he cannot be outside by himself. And outside, we actually see Nate pick up some new DNA. Around the same time, we see Squazzle have used the technology to create the Cybergate, which Blaze and Roxy actually knew that this gate can allow Evox to escape to from the cyber dimension and into the human dimension. But in order for Evox to come to the human dimension, he needs a robot body. So in order to have a robot body, he needs someone to create it. And they actually knew someone who can, and they actually decided to kick down Nate, who actually picked up new animal DNA, which is the praying mantis DNA and the scarabeel DNA. Around the same time, Commander Shaw had warned the Rangers about the Robotron stealing MorphX, and they actually sprang into action and told Nate to head back to the headquarters, which he actually decided to stay and actually get the last of the Scarab DNA, which Blaze and Roxy have kidnapped Nate, which they needed him to create the robot body. And when the Rangers appears, they saw the Robotron called Vacutron, who a vacuum themed monster, draining the Morphex from the cars and actually loaded it into the truck, which the Morphex can actually also help the Squazzle to use it for Evok's new body, which the Rangers morph into action and to attack Vacutron, which we actually seen the Rangers are actually powerless against Vacutron, as we seen Blaze and Roxy take take Nate to the new lab that Squazzle actually had completed the Cybergate, which they needed him to create the new robot body the same way that he created the Beast Bots, in which he can actually do that, in which he can actually do it. But the tracking device that Ben and Betty actually use, they actually put it on the truck where the Rangers cannot actually find the Robotron with the Morphex. But they actually found the Morphex, and they also find Nate building the robot, in which they actually seen the robot being completed. Now that they can commence the project of Evox escaping the cyber dimension. Around the same time, the Vacutron actually appeared, and the Rangers decided to morph and battle the Vacutron. Which, when Evox almost get into the robot body, Nate decided to use his communicator to transport the Striker Morpher and actually use it to stop the process, in which he also had caused the feedback to push the others back, in which he also blasts the tubes that has the Morphex, and then he decided to use the DNA that he collected and decided to morph as well. As we seen how he actually morphed, which we actually see Nate transform into the Gold Ranger, and we actually seen that actually happen. And the robot actually stood up, and he actually morphed into the Silver Ranger. And that's actually how the Gold Busters actually is. And we actually seen Nate giving the robot his own Striker Morpher, in which they actually decided to fight the Tronics and Blazing Roxy, as they actually did. Now they actually head outside to help the Rangers defeat Vacutron, in which Nate had actually told them about his identity as they fight Vacutron, and the Rangers use their swords to fight the new Gigadroid called Vacudroid, which it allows the same droid to use the same weapon as the Vacutron to strain Morphex into the tower, in which the Rangers have combined into the Megazord and actually defeated Vacudroid. And then at the same time, Nate and the robot defeated the Vacutron, in which Commander Shaw have actually congratulated the Rangers and also congratulate Nate and the robot, which the robot actually does have a long name, but in the way Nate had decided to call the robot Steel. And that's actually the good thing, because it revealed that Steel is actually part human, which when the Morphex allow the DNA of the praying mantis bonded with Nate, it also bonded with Steel, which Steel have actually bonded with the Scarabeel DNA. That actually happens around the same time the Morphex combined both of them. And so Nate got his wish, as he got a B-spot as his big brother. And now Nate is finally a Ranger, which now the others can actually become his friends and also allies. And they also can teach him how to become a Ranger as well. But meanwhile, Squazzle and the other Tronics have actually began work on rebuilding the Cybergate, which Evox told him that either the Cybergate is working again or they'll face his wrath. But Blazer Roxy told him that they'll actually get the robot body back, and they will soon actually say that Steel will be yours again. And I'm thinking that this is going to be how this will actually happen. Now, I'm actually excited that Nate is the Gold Ranger, and he actually got a B-spot as his big brother, which he calls it Steel. And the new Morpher, the Striker Morpher, is actually impressive. And the praying mantis and the Scarabeel DNA that he collected are actually almost similar of Goldbusters. But I'm actually loving this episode right now, and I cannot wait to see more of it. But unfortunately, we're actually going to go through a little bit of a hiatus, as we've seen of a lot of Power Ranger series that actually go through it. So yeah, I cannot wait until August. That's right, August this year. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment on what you think about the episode. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and like my Facebook page. Until then, this is Anime God here saying sign out. Laters.